Okay, we have Christian here. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he does for a living, and yeah, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Hi, thank you for having me. First of all, I really commend you with what you're doing with the business community to have us on, and I'm very honored and grateful to be on your show. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Cristian Montalvo. I am from Southern California. I've been in San Antonio, Texas for about 6 years now, and I hail from the sales and marketing background. That's pretty much my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Awesome. When did you first start doing your
Uh,
business,
I,
starting
I
businesses?
Yeah, well, as an entrepreneur, I do have different projects. More than anything, in the networking circles, I am known as the networking king of San Antonio. And the reason being is because I always like to be in touch with the community. I like to plug in and see where I can help out. I think my history and my background is coming from a servant-like mindset and a servant-like heart. I always like to give to the community wherever I can, however I can. I've based my business around relationships. I'm a people builder. So if anyone needs help with their business, typically I'm there to help, to offer advice, suggestions, mentorship, to coach, whether it's in business or in life itself.
Oh, I like that. What was it that made you want to start doing entrepreneur or helping businesses, helping people out?
Having a backbreaker job. When you work construction for like a day or so, and then like maybe this is not for me at a young age, and you've got those labor-intensive jobs. I wanted to get educated, so what I did is I started working in more white-collar work, and I pretty much learned as I went. I'm a pretty much self-made person when it comes to IT, technology, some of the systems in place for different small businesses or medium-sized companies. And I just learned. I have this, I hate to say it, but I have a talent of picking up things rather quickly. I pick them up, I become an expert, and then I am able to share that knowledge and information with other people. That's why I'm always willing to give and to serve. I guess I started my journey maybe about 20, 25 years ago or so, when I decided that it's always best to serve, it's always best to give. I'm a giver. And I think part of that influence was growing up in church as an usher, always being there to serve others. Then it just became natural for me to be more inclined and interested and curious about business itself. So I just kind of mix both things. One is my natural instinct to serve, and the other one is the natural instinct to be a business person.
I like that. I like that, um, people don't usually like to be sold. And so when you're friends with them, when you're giving to them and you're offering help and, at no cost, I feel like people are more likely to want to be a part of, what you're doing or even show interest. So that's great.
Absolutely. And I think in two things that you said that resonate with me is that no one likes to be sold, but everyone likes to buy.
Mhm.
So if you just offer the value of whatever service product that you're offering, when you offer a solution to their particular predicament or when you offer a solution to their problem, they're going to naturally or organically want to purchase from you. But no one wants you to push a product or a service on them if they're not ready to make that decision. So I always come from my style of, if you want to call it selling, is always to provide value. And then whenever that particular prospect or client or lead is ready to engage, they will let me know, hey, I think your product or your service is something that I could use. I see the value in it. How do we move forward to engage in it?
Yeah, I like that. That's smart. Um, so when working in San Antonio, what do you like? What do you love most about serving in San Antonio through your business? Do you just help people in San Antonio? Are you able to go all over the country, or are your businesses more brick and mortar, or how do you online helping, or what kind of who do you help most in this in through your
I think
businesses?
I think everyone. And the reason why I say that is because if someone is open-minded, if someone is willing to be coachable, teachable, if someone is willing to take advice, if someone is looking for mentorship, it doesn't matter whether they're here in California, Florida. I've got business partners in different parts of the nation. And the reason being is because with the technology that we have now, for example, now you're in the comfort of your own home, I am in an office, we are able to communicate that way. I can help anyone. Typically, I host networking events in San Antonio. I've got one coming up this Tuesday at 11:30 near the airport. We have a mixer coming up as well on June 26th at Scuzzi's. I also have another mixer that's going to be a service-like mixer or event next Thursday. So I'm always engaged with people. If people then want to set up a one-on-one, a consultation, if I need to go to their particular business to do some mentorship, then I can do that as well. But I'm always open. I have a pretty large following on Facebook. And if someone is from a different state and they have questions or they need some help or some guidance, and if I'm able to help them, I will. I don't pretend to know it all. I don't pretend to be a master of all trades or all talents. But what I can do, because I am very heavily into networking, I can put them in the right direction. It's more like a consultation. If there's something that I can't do, because everyone needs to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, what their forte is, or what their niche is. So I understand what that is. And if I'm able to provide that as a service for someone, I will. If not, I will lead them in the right direction with trusted individuals that will be able to help them.
That's great. So it's good to have you on it's good to have you on somebody's side when they're trying to start out or anything, having somebody who knows other people, because I know when you're starting a business or even if you're deep in the business, it's good to know the right people. So that's awesome. What are some ways that you've had to adjust during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Zoom calls,
Zoom
Zoom
calls.
calls, Zoom calls,
Yeah.
Zoom calls. I think a lot of us needed to adjust to that. If some of us were not expert in the field, we became experts during quarantine to do Zoom calls. But I think it's a good thing. I think it moved a lot of people out of their comfort zone. I started a venture during the quarantine. I saw an opportunity. I ran with it. And it's just also, I think, a mindset. I think when push comes to shove, and you get pushed into a particular area or a corner, you have to do different things, not only to survive, but also to thrive in your business. So most of us learn how to do Zoom calls. Most of us learn how to do virtual meetings. And the reason why is because we were forced or pushed into that particular arena. I think that's one of the things that has changed in my business. I'm very fortunate because I'm still able to plug into all of those people, those networking groups and events and the different partnerships that I have all across this beautiful city of ours. So I haven't really missed anything other than the physical, hey, we're here at a place or a location. Other than that, to me, business has been as usual. But I think the way that it's impacted the business or the marketplace, it's pushed people to certain areas that they may not have been accustomed to, or it may have pushed them out of their comfort zone.
Definitely. But it's either that or, I mean, I've heard people say adapt or die. So if you're not willing to change, then, you might see some loss. But yeah, I've heard many entrepreneurs say this is the time now to go all in. I mean, to expand, and when things are dropping, like this is the time. So are you doing your networking events all online? When you say you have like mixers and things like that, are they all online, or because the cities open up, these events are now live in person?
Yeah, that's actually a twofold. They have been during quarantine,
Okay.
and now that the city's slowly opening up, we're going to open to capacity. So we're going to start very small. Our groups have a tendency to be anywhere between 40 to 60 on average. On a good day, 80 to 100 at a mixer. So we've learned to adapt during these times, doing virtual Zoom calls. But now we're slowly starting to open up again. One of most the closest event that I have is going to be this Tuesday at 11:30. It's going to be a networking event, and we're going to start off with 25 only. Typically, at those events, we have 40 to 45 or 50 people. We only want to limit 25. One, we want to be in compliance. Two, we want to make sure that everyone is still maintaining those practices to stay safe. So we're gonna require for everyone to wear a mask, and we're gonna take temperatures at the door, and we're only gonna limit that to 25 for our location. So it's been a twofold. It's been virtual, and now we're starting to open that market up again.
Awesome. That's great. So are you going to be doing anything different, changing anything moving forward, or will you, um, is there anything that you'll have to, um, yeah,
Adapt
anything
to,
you'll have to
yeah,
change?
yeah. I think what is done for me, because I started a new venture, I saw possibility. And I think it goes back to one of the first statements that I made, and that is mindset. I think if we have a negative, pessimistic, it's always dark, the glass is half empty, everything is bad, everything is wrong, everything is horrible, then we're going to manifest that based on one, our thought process, our verbiage, and then also we're going to attract that out from the universe onto our lives and manifest it and make it a reality. What I saw, and this is based on several years of just personal development, I saw opportunity. When stocks are crashing and stocks are down, that's when you want to buy. When people are restricting or they're constricting back, I am moving forward. I'm catapulting. As people were saying, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to be conservative. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just not going to do anything. I started doubling down on my marketing. I started doubling down on the marketing tools that I use. Um, there are several things that I do. I'm a professional photographer, videographer. I can do commercials. I do marketing, advertising, sales. So what I did is I started buying gear because there was a lot of stuff on sale. I started buying things for my professional cameras. I started buying software, editing things. So whenever everything opens back up and we go back to normal, I'm going to be in a good position that because I purchased a lot of things that were a good bargain. If people were closing doors and they were getting rid of equipment, that's when I was buying. So I was always preparing and I was always looking forward to tomorrow as a visionary to make sure that I wasn't stuck in that pandemic mode of fear, of
Mhm.
loss, of not being able to do anything. My hands are tied. Well, the quarantine, we could use 100 excuses and any excuse will do. But what I did is I shut off the media, I shut off the news, I shut off the negativity. And what I did is I focused, laser like focus, not only on what I've always done, but again, I doubled down and I ramped up a lot of things. I ramped up marketing, I ramped up equipment, I ramped up on editing software. So I could be put in a better place when things go back to normal.
Exactly. I mean, I can't remember some of the companies just in 2008 when we had our crash then, to hear about some of those companies that just, the difference between two competitors and one who doubled down on the marketing and the other one's now out of business, and I can't remember, I think it was a department store, but I think that's huge. That's a huge, that's really important for people to remember. So if you had to choose maybe one or two reasons why people should come to your business, what would they be?
Honesty, integrity. If I can help, I will, and I will be honest with someone and say, hey, I'm going to be able to help you or not. I think sometimes when people have a product, a service, or they even market themselves or brand themselves, they have an agenda. I must sell this. I must sell this regardless, whether it fits my client's criteria or it doesn't, whether it helps them or it doesn't. I have to sell this. And I'm not on that agenda. I think honesty, like anything else, is just the key to being successful in business. Being honest with someone, hey, I don't think my product is a good fit for you. I don't think my services are a good fit for you, but let me still get you a solution. Let me find a product that is, or let me find a service that is. And sometimes people want to gravitate to me because of the person that I am, and they are insisting that I'm able to help in that area. And I'm sometimes have to turn away business. Look, I'm probably not the right fit for you, but let me still be a solution to your problem. Let me still help you and guide you in the right direction. I think integrity. I think doing the right thing when people aren't looking. I think I've turned away a lot of business because I have to be honest to myself. I need to have a clear conscience when I go to sleep. Aside from that, I'm known in every networking group or almost every networking group that I attend to. I can always show up with my head held high in the air because I've always worked out of my heart. One of the lessons that I learned early on in my career is that if you work from the heart, the money will follow. And some people are only interested in making a profit. And the way that I work is I work from here. And if sometimes I can help someone without making any money, that's okay. I believe in universe. I believe in karma. I believe in things are always going to pay you back. Whatever you put out, you're going to get back in. So I've always worked with honesty and integrity.
I love that. We need more honest people because, there's enough business owners that they're not honest, and you don't always know until it's too late. And, whether having regrets or, awkward conversations with those that you might have screwed over, you don't have to deal with that. So that's really nice.
And if I could just add to that, one of the things that I am known for in my networking events, I've had networking groups for many years in San Antonio now, is some networking groups, they will cut off a certain industry. So for example, if you're the marketing girl, you're only the marketing girl. If you only do websites, only one person does websites. If you do insurance, you only do insurance. If you do XYZ, you can only do that. I don't like to cut off anyone. And the reason being is because I believe in abundance, not scarcity. I believe that people should have a choice. If you sell insurance, Johnny sells insurance, Bobby sells insurance, Jane sells insurance, and Mary sells insurance. I want all of them to come to my networking group because me as a consumer, I may not mesh well with one or two, but I'm going to mesh well with one or two here, or maybe one or the other doesn't offer a service that the other ones do. So if we start to limit ourselves with who can attend my group, then we limit the different options that me as a consumer have to choose. So I've always come from an abundance mindset. There's enough business for everyone. It's a huge city. There's millions of people. And I think if we start to limit ourselves in our minds, we start limit ourselves in our relationships, we're definitely going to hurt ourselves because we're going to limit ourselves in options, alternatives, and also income for potential clients.
I like that. It's a free market. I think people need to compete. So it's not, people aren't taken away from others. So
Correct.
it's what can you add? What can you add from this insurance person? How can you be different from them that sets you apart? And so kind of forces you to adapt to be even better in your field. So what is your favorite part of your job?
Being able to help. I think at the end of the day, it's being able to give back to the community in one way, shape, or form. If there's a particular struggle that I went through early on in my career, if there was something that I struggled with, if there was a hurdle, a challenge, a ceiling, if there was something that was holding me back from moving to the next step, from growing, from going to the next level, getting my next promotion, making more money, expanding my business. If I can help someone do that because I've been through it, every time I teach, every time I coach, every time I give advice or suggestions, it comes from a place where I've been before. So it feels good to be able to have someone go through a breakdown and then move them and coach them to a breakthrough. And what happens most times is because people don't have the right personal development, they don't have the right mindset, they don't have the right coach or the right mentoring. They go through the breakthrough. They go through the breakdown and they stay there. They get stuck in that place in time. They get stuck in that problem, and they're not able to move to a breakthrough. Some of the things I had to learn by myself. Some of the things I was helped. But now, when someone goes through a particular situation that I'm able to help with, I think that's the most satisfying to me. It brings a lot of pleasure for me to be able to help people.
Awesome. I love that. Where can people find you? Do you have a website or a Facebook group or
Yeah,
multiple
they,
groups?
yeah, exactly. I've got different places where they could find me. I think the most common place where they could find me would be Facebook. They could find me under my first name. It's Cristian, and that is with no H. It's Cristian. My last name is Montalvo, Montalvo. If they want to go to check out some of the things that I talked about, which was lowering their utility bills, essential services in their home, they could visit www.invicta, INVICTA .acnibo.com. They could find some services there if they wanted to lower their utility bills, at least take a peek. If they wanted a private consultation with me, whether they wanted to help to lower their bills at home or for their business, or they just wanted to reach out to me and be a friend, get to know me, build a relationship, I'm all about that as well.
Okay, and if they want to go to one of the networking events, do they do that through your personal page too? Find you through?
Absolutely, they
Okay.
can, or they could, even if they go to my networking page and they send a message, it's still going to come to me. So the best thing to do is just go to my personal page, Cristian Montalvo on Facebook. They'll be able to find me there. My next event is going to be near the airport. Major cross streets is Broadway and 410. It's going to be a networking event called Network Like a Boss. We're going to have like-minded individuals, business owners, entrepreneurs, small to medium-sized companies. We're going to cater lunch. It's at 11:30. We're going to have Grand Tequila, the Mexican restaurant, is going to cater lunch. It's $10 for your lunch, and it's free to network. The only thing that we ask is that you bring a mask and some business cards and a great attitude.
That sounds great.